Are we sitting on a couple 10 baggers with our XRP and silver? In today's update, I want to take a look at the potential for a 10x return on XRP and silver from today's prices. Now, this might sound crazy. We got a 45-year pattern that I'm going to show you on the silver chart. Very interesting. And I got plenty of fundamental reasons behind both silver and XRP, why I believe the assets are both set to appreciate significantly. The potential for a 10x, I think, is rather conservative for XRP. For silver, might be kind of a stretch, but I'm not going to rule it out. So without further ado, I want to get right on into this update. Before I do, though, I want to let everybody know I did just drop our most recent installment of the business development program talking about the best businesses to start in 2024. These are simple businesses that don't require any capital to get started, limited education. They're businesses that you could pick up and start today. And that's why I chose them. They're also in sectors that are very hot and growing despite the economic headwinds that we face. These are sectors that are still expanding. So if you're looking to get tapped in over there, this is included in your Discord membership right now. So you just sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. And I've included all of our business development program content is included in your membership so far. So get in while you can, and I'd love to hear your feedback too on businesses that you already got started, on business opportunities that you see. All I see when I take a look around is massive opportunity. Today we're talking the potential for an opportunity 10x on our XRP and silver. Let's get started though. I got a couple data points that I wanted to share with you guys. Today we saw day 2 of the Trump assassination hearing. The heads of the Secret Service, FBI, and Homeland Security have declined to testify. I wonder why. Right? So here we are, about a week and a half after the event that occurred with Trump, and we still don't have many answers. We're left with more questions than we've gotten answers by far. Still wondering what the heck is going on. Now, taking it one step further, now we have hackers have leaked internal documents stolen from Leidos Holdings, Inc., one of the largest IT service providers to the United States government. Leidos clients include the Pentagon, Homeland Security, and NASA. So, last week, it was the largest IT outage in history. This was the CrowdStrike outage. Now, they said that it was a bug that was implemented in the update, right? The code was going to be updated, little bug, little problem. They were able to fix it, but it stopped, flights for 3 different airlines in the United States. Hospitals had to really almost shut down, only doing emergency services. I mean, this impacted many facets of our lives. Largest IT outage in history on Friday. We're following that up with basically a government contractor that just got hacked. What is happening, folks? Now, for me, you know that I've been talking about this. Dozens of various black swan scenarios that can play out between now and this election. What's happening is they're getting caught in the cover-up. This country has been stolen by entities that have bought out both sides of the aisle. They want to control this country. They want to destroy our opportunity here. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness on a level playing field. It's something that we all want. It's not political. And they want to drive this country into the dirt with their policies, bankrupting this country, destroying the opportunity. And the level playing field idea is something that they talk about, but it's just a talking point that's cute. Meanwhile, on the backside, through regulatory capture, the bureaucracy beast, and the fiscal misspending and overspending, they've put us in a precarious position as a nation that is once again just trying to catch our vibe back, right? We're trying to get the energy back. We're trying to build upon ideas that do unite us together, like cryptocurrency. And we got the likes of Elizabeth Warren who are coming in and saying, nope, you can't have self-custody. Nope, you can't have crypto, but you can use a CBDC. You can use a CBDC. That's where they want to take this thing. Now, these next 2 data points line up exactly with our thesis, which is that we're expecting a correction between now and the election, but no matter who gets elected, no matter what happens, that money printer is about to get turned back on. And not just at our central bank, at other central banks as well. This one shared by Finance Lot. Central bank liquidity is currently targeting a September 2024 trend line intersection. Can you guess what happens after it hits trend? Let's take a look. So this is a trend line going back a ways here, all the way back to 2013. Okay. And we see what happened in 2020 when we hit it. We absolutely spiked. Now, this is central bank liquidity, including Japan, United States, Euro, and I don't know if they included a couple others. That Canadian, maybe Canada's central bank as well. Yeah, you got a few different ones in there. And what this is showing us that after 2020, that central bank liquidity spiked. This is what took our markets to all-time highs. This is what took real estate to all-time highs. And everybody thought, okay, this is the return to normal. This is the pump. Nobody has to pay your debts. Everybody gets stimulus checks. Nobody has to work. And we're all going to get rich, coinciding with a massive spike in central bank liquidity. Now that the liquidity is drying up, it's tightening up, it's coming back down to a trend line. And this is the trend line where things start to break once again, right? Look at what happened in the past year. During 2016, we hit it. All the way back here in 2013, we hit it, right? And they had to fire up this liquidity to get us out of the great financial crisis as well. Now, we don't know what event's going to occur. We've seen we were, quarter inch away from President Trump, that being one of the biggest black swans probably in the last couple decades. We barely missed that one. They got more on the way, but this is funny because this is all coinciding where central bank liquidity should bounce off this trend line and then start to spike again. More money printing, more injection, right as we're starting to look at this data point right here. U.S. Senate considers voting to ban Congress from trading stocks before the November elections. Now, I retweeted this out and I said, if you're curious on when the market top's going to be, watch for this one. Now, we already saw the Fed actually put restrictions on their trading of stocks, and that coincided with a local market top before we went into a correction. I believe that was last year. And now we are looking at Congress banning themselves from trading. And I suspect that this is going to mark another top where they allow themselves to get some exit liquidity before they dump on us and sell off their bags. Nancy Pelosi, I'm sure she's going to make boatloads of money with her, inside scoop that's made her so successful. I'm sure she'll find the exits before this gets enacted. So if you're looking for a top, if they actually go through with this and they ban Congress by November, you know what I'm expecting. And once again, we have all sorts of scenarios that play out that bring about a correction, that bring our stock market back down, that bring in panic, that allows that central bank to fire back up that liquidity, not just here in the US, but worldwide. What does this do to our assets? Well, I'm going to show you what it's going to do to silver here in a second, but we're expecting risk on assets to fire back up. And also the assets that are hedges against inflation, like gold and silver, and hedges against stupidity, which is what we're living through right now. Now, speaking of silliness, now we have the Kamala Harris campaign. That's right. Biden has bowed out. Now it's up to Kamala to come in and save the day. And she's reportedly going to be speaking at the Bitcoin conference per Fox News. Now, we know that President Trump is going to be speaking. He's getting paid $15 million. We know he's got his roundtable. Costs you $800,000 to go sit at that roundtable with President Trump. Costs you $60,000 to get a picture with President Trump. $100,000 deal if you're a couple. So there you go. Now, he's taking the Bitcoin bros to town. I don't know if Kamala Harris is going to get paid. She's probably begging them to allow her to speak, right? But the point being is that now we're seeing both sides of the aisle go pro crypto. This is perfectly aligned with why we're so bullish on assets like XRP, which are in alignment with the compliance and the regulations that's being considered here in the United States of America as well. Perfect place to be in. The Bitcoin bros think, of course, that this is all just Bitcoin. But as we saw yesterday with the Ethereum ETF rolling out, this is a sector that's now starting to get attention past Bitcoin. And then it's going to be past Ethereum. And where are they going to look next? Well, they're looking at Solana, of course, but I think that eventually they're going to end up taking a look at XRP. And when it comes to XRP, well, the truth will set you free. More on that later. Now, in regards to getting set free from the West and the silliness that's taking place over here, India has just decided to cut its import tax on gold and silver to 6%. It previously was at 15%. They're cutting it in half down to 6% right now. Now, the reason why this is massive news is because India is home to one of the biggest gold markets in the world. The country is the second largest gold consumer in the world. And you have to understand, that they've already imported more silver in the first, I think it was the first 4 or 5 months of this year, than they did all of last year combined. So they're already importing a record amount of silver and gold, and now they just cut the import tax down to 6% from 15%. What do you think happens next? While we're busy trying to be woke over here in the West and figure out our program, and we continue to destroy our currencies, while we, fund this program, fund that program, fund this war, fund that war, everybody gets a handout, everybody gets to have fun, everybody gets to participate. Out east, they are laughing at us. They are mocking us as they drain our COMEX vaults and they take delivery. And now they drop the tax so they can take even more delivery in India, in Hong Kong, China, record amounts of imports. And meanwhile, the West, we're just being silly over here, aren't we? Now, if you guys are looking to get precious metals, you guys know that I have them at my website, zachrector.com. You can roll over a 401k retirement account, or we can get the metals shipped directly to your door. Let us know how we can service you. Now, we speaking of gold and silver, we're going to take a look at it. Sorry, here's your chart right here. 45 years in the making. This one's from North Star Charts. Says, don't underestimate its potential in this setup. This is a 45-year cup and handle for silver. Now, we look at what happened previously. Silver opens this candle at $2.21. It went from $2 to $48 entering the cup in 1979, right? Spiking all the way up to nearly $50. This has been a long time in the making for silver. Now, of course, we did go up to about $50. That was in 2011. That was after the great financial crisis, right? So we have been building this cup and handle now for 45 plus years. Silver opens up this candle at $5 and it goes from 5 to 50 with a 10x, right? So if we look back in the 70s, it was a 24x from $2 to 48. When we look at 2011, it went from 5 to 50. And remember what I said about the ETFs. The silver ETF went live in 2004 and it 10x'd after that. The gold one went live in 2003. Gold did a 5x after that. Here we are. Silver goes from $24 to what? Well, a 10x would be $240. If we did something more like the 24x, well, we'd be talking 400 or 500 plus, right? So we're looking at the potential for silver to, if we just do a conservative move, kind of like we did in the past, we're looking at a 10x for silver up to $240. Pretty incredible. Now, we're entering this at $24. Even if, right, you look at the potential, right, from these prices that we're at right now, even to just double and triple up your money, going to $50, that could easily be done. Easily could be done. Going to 75 to 100, I definitely think that we have some potential there just in the next few years. But then when I look at the potential for silver over the next 5 years to a decade, I definitely am not willing to rule out $100, $200, $300 silver. I am not willing to rule it out, and I'm not going to underestimate it. And that's why I've been stacking silver. Now, when it comes to XRP, the potential for a 10x, I definitely think it's there. I think it's even more conservative of a prediction for a 10x XRP than it is for silver. The reason being, I shared 6 reasons why XRP would pump yesterday, including the case ending, more massive amount of liquidity going to be injected. Also talked about on-demand liquidity going live in the United States. Talked about additional crypto regulations, and then I talked about the ETFs going live. The other ones that I missed, I had people in the comments letting me know the ones that I missed. Well, the other big one is Ripple's IPO is another bullish catalyst for XRP. But if we look at the XRP chart and its past performance, and we look at what it could do here in the future, you look at all the conservative technical analysis are even willing to say that XRP could go to that $5 to $10 price. Now, at today's price of 60 cents, going to $6, easily done. the potential for XRP to even 20x, right? Up to about 10 to 12 bucks. Easily done, right? And so this is why I will continue to hold my XRP and my silver, even if they suppress us out a little bit more. We've already started to break out of it. Watch these levels very closely right now. As silver wants to stay above $28 per ounce, and for XRP, it's holding 60 cents right now. Just yesterday, we did get a quick wick down to backtest the 58-cent level, but then it was quickly bought back up, and we're holding 60 cents. This is building tremendous structure on both charts from a technical perspective, and you guys already know how strong the fundamentals are. Silver's been running a deficit for the past 4 years. Okay. So, and one final point that I want to add too is if gold did a 5x after the ETF went live, silver did a 10x after the ETFs went live, you have a brand new asset class that has not had 1,000 years of exposure. XRP's only been around for 10 years. When it gets its ETF, can we rule out a 5 to 10x? You know, and when we add in the bullish catalyst of ETF exposure as well, and it's not just a spot XRP ETF, you're also looking at baskets that will include XRP within them. So the fundamentals are there, the technicals are there. It just becomes a question of how much of these assets have you stacked before the flip of the switch occurs. So without further ado, I am going to wrap up this session and get on into our next episode. I got additional content coming for you guys today. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell. Everything else can be found on my website, zachrector.com. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.